I know not many people in that locker room, and definitely not many you people, uh, believe we'd be sitting here at 8-8 with control our own destiny going into Week 18. Pretty special.
What do you mean, you people? Happy
You
New Year to
people.
all you beautiful people. Happy New Year, Michael Holley. How you doing?
Happy New Year, Michael. What's up, man?
Merry New Year.
Great shirt.
Thank
Great
you.
to see
Happy
you.
New Year. Great to see you. In this country, we say Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. So New Year, but same old, same old. I wonder,
Yeah.
what is your favorite oldie but goodie that's still in the playoff picture? Not quite in the playoffs, but in the playoff picture. Is it Tom Brady, who clinched, his Buccaneers clinched? Is it Aaron Rodgers, who, as we just heard, his Packers control their own destiny? Is it Bill Belichick, whose Patriots now control their playoff destiny? Or is it the official muse of Brother from Another, Mike Tomlin and his Pittsburgh Steelers, who will yet again, most likely, avoid a losing season and maybe make the playoffs? So who you feeling? All these people that when it's all said and done and there's nothing else to say or do, in the immortal words of Darryl Dawkins, here they are again. Same old, same old.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
like
but
old
you know what,
times.
Mike? I can't say there's a favorite. There's not a favorite because all of them, you can make the argument that all of them kind of put themselves in this position, with the exception of the Steelers. The Steelers couldn't help it. You know, Ben Roethlisberger retired, and they had their quarterback issues.
More T.J. Watt than anything. Yeah.
But you know, look, Aaron Rodgers complaining about the receivers and wasn't there for OTAs. Maybe if he had been more committed, more invested earlier, they'd have 2 or 3 more wins. They'd be in the playoffs right now. You know, he's on board. He wasn't on board before. If he was on board just a few weeks earlier, I don't know, man. They'd be in a better situation. The Patriots, they're 8-8. And Bill Belichick kind of created the situation by making Matt Patricia, an old friend of yours. Well, back in the day was. Back in the day.
Of mine. That's my boy. It's my boy.
That was, but he went without telling all your business to our people, without telling all your business. But he was though, right? I mean, y'all spent a lot of time together, man. He was good. He was good for you. He was good for you.
Where did you do that?
But
where did you do that at? What was that? I mean, okay, sure, if you say so. But I mean, like, damn.
What's all this extra stuff? What's all this? He was good for you.
In front of my wife and everything, dog. Damn.
You bringing a lot of stuff in.
Birthday, Mr. President. My family's here.
Anyway. Hey, I ain't trying to tell all your business, man. I ain't trying to tell all your business.
Too late for that.
Anyway,
Go ahead, bro. Just go on down the list. Tell them what happened in Vegas while you're at it. Tell them what happened in Vegas while you're at it. Go ahead.
You got me crying up in here. But let me just say this real quick. Okay, without getting into details, y'all, Matt Patricia, when Michael Smith was working for, I think, the worldwide leader, I think it was worldwide leader. You know, Matt Patricia really was feeling Michael Smith. You know, he could see his talent. He could see his talent and his passion for football. So Patricia respected that. And so that was good. That was good. Okay. And I met Patricia. Didn't we meet them all together, Mike? Just like a little side road here. Then we get back to the main road.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
It was you, me, Eric Mangini, and Matt Patricia. Like, he introduced us to Matt Patricia. He's like, Matt Patricia, hey, here's a new guy, just started. We had to spend a lot of time together. So it's fine. I'm just gonna make fun of myself on this one.
All right.
So Patricia, I'm like, all right. So yeah, I got a little connection with him. Man, we went to a Super Bowl one year. I think it was the Patriots and Giants in the Super Bowl, the second time. He was there. And I said, okay, I'm gonna get a little inside information because I've known Matt Patricia for a long time. So I'm gonna go up to him and, you know, pull him aside and get a little insight on what kind of defense they're doing. Don't you know this fool gave me one of these? Well, we're going to maximize our opportunities. I'm like, oh, hold on, man. Oh, you don't treat me like I'm just somebody. Like I'm just like the average dude. Man, I knew you when you were this high. I brought you into the league. Now you're going to treat me like I'm like an annoying member of the media. Anyway, but Bill Belichick brought this on himself because he made that guy the offensive coordinator. So they're 8-8. They shouldn't be. They should be like 10 and something. And so that's not a favorite story. Tom Brady took 11 days off from training camp. So I don't know. I mean, they're intriguing, but I don't know if there's a favorite for me.
All right, I'll take out. Okay, okay, fair enough. I'll take out the Steelers because I know how we feel about Mike Tomlin and this amazing streak that he's on. I'll take out the Steelers. Who are you most sick of? Is maybe the way I should have phrased it. Are you more sick? Are you more sick of these New England Patriots? Are you more sick of Tom Brady? Or are you more sick of Aaron Rodgers? Is that a better way of asking it? Who are you most sick of? I'm just trying to spark some conversation here.
Brady.
Personally, Brady.
Yeah.
That shocks me. I thought you would have said Rodgers, but that shocks me. Brady because the offseason,
well,
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I just feel like people sweating them a little too much. Sweating them a little too much for something like, let's reserve, let's kind of slow down, tamp down this is what GOATs do and look, here's Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things. The fact is, they scored 30 points yesterday. That's the first time they've scored 30 in a long time. They are not a great offense. They average about 18 points a game. They play in a bad division, and it took the second game against the Carolina Panthers for them to clinch their division. They're still not a very good yeah, right. They're still not a very good team. And, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers win this division in the next to last week of the season. That's the least you could do, right? That's the least that you can do. So I will say this, but the reason I call them the closers, Brady and Rodgers, there are certain closers in baseball who, once they have lost their fastballs, they still can get saves because of their savvy and their presence. They got a presence, they got a spirit that even if they lost 5 or 6 miles off the fastball, they can still get you out. Because when the batters see you on the mound, they say, "Oh, here we go. I'm in for a battle." So I will give him credit for that. I'll give Aaron Rodgers credit for the same thing. They're not what they used to be, but they ain't chumps either.
Well, I hope by now you are buying what I've been trying to sell you for a while on Tom Brady and these Bucs, which is that they're going to be okay, dude. All right, and I'm not trying to take from Aaron Rodgers. I'm not trying to manifest the prediction into being, because just for the record, just to remind people that may not have seen, Brother from Another, or may not remember.
And shame on you. Brady. If you're in that position, shame on you. What do you mean you haven't seen Brother from Another? Anyway, go ahead.
I had Tom Brady threatening double digits before it was all said and done in his career. And maybe he'll play long enough to threaten double digits at this rate, okay? Because I still think that it's easy, and I'm hearing some of this from you, it is easy to take for granted what this dude, who should be going through a midlife crisis right now, what he continues to do on a football field. Dude just threw for 400 some odd yards and 3 touchdowns and was dropping dimes to Mike Evans, okay? When the rest of the league is trying to figure out what they have at quarterback, or so many teams, like there was 64 different starting quarterbacks that started the game this year. Only 2007 and 87 strike. It is, but what's more amazing is that dude has been there every game and is about to break his own record for completions in the season, and just continues, despite things crumbling around him, to be brilliant. Not his best version of himself.
What? Hold on.
Not his best. Not his best version. Not his best version. Not his best version of himself. But enough moments of brilliance. How's that? To have this team winning. Okay, fine. They won a bad division. They punch their ticket to the dance. They're at the party. Maybe they get lucky. Maybe they take somebody home with them. Maybe they catch somebody slipping. We'll see. What I'm saying is nobody wants to see that dude. In a close game.
Everybody wants to see it.
Nobody wants to see it. Everybody wants to see it.
Everybody wants to see it. Everybody wants to see it.
Okay.
I want to see it.
Everybody want to see the greatest.
Okay. I want to see him.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
With the rest of the quarterbacks in the NFC, With the rest of the
Mike,
quarterbacks in the NFC, that's who you want. Got it. You want to. They
First of all-
don't want that smoke. Nobody wants that Tom Brady smoke. But that's okay.
First of
that's
all-
okay. I know you wanted him to ride out to pasture. You're still butthurt because he came back in the first place. Yeah,
No,
you
no,
are.
no.
Because we
Ain't got
argued
nothing to do with
all
me.
last year.
I ain't getting up in
'cause
his business. That's personal.
I said
That's
I was
personal.
leaving 22
I
and
ain't getting up in his
2022.
business.
No, it is personal. It has gotten personal
I
for
ain't
you.
get-
Because
I ain't
somewhere
get up-
along the line,
I ain't up in his business.
somewhere along the line, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, as you call him, ran afoul of you. And you wanted him gone
love
last
him.
offseason when I told you he wasn't retired.
I love him.
I told
Listen,
you,
listen.
even when he did retire, I was like, he doesn't really want to retire. And now, not only is he back and in the playoffs, much to
Right.
you and others' chagrin, but he's going to have his pickup jobs next year. But that's a conversation for maybe later.
No.
Or
Tom
another day.
Brady is he's my favorite among any things. Not only is he my favorite quarterback, he's my favorite philanthropist. He is donated to the United Negro College Fund.
Well,
My kids are going to college. My
you
kids
don't
are going
act
to
like
college because of Tom Brady. Okay. I loves Tom Brady. Okay.
Like
I love
the
him.
playoffs are
But-
better. Like my overall
but-
point by asking all of this is with Belichick, even though the Patriots are no fun to watch for anybody outside of New England and maybe even people inside of New England, but with these oldies but goodies, with these usual suspects, whether it's Belichick, whether it's Tomlin, whether it's Brady, whether it's Rodgers, it's better. The league, the playoff field is better with them in it. And you got to take the Bucs and the Packers for that matter. The way the Packers are playing right now, wait for it, on special teams. I mean, why not the Packers? But go ahead. You were saying.
Shout out Rich Bisaccia. All right, so look, you haven't been this dude, but I've been this dude, so I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. You like your party analogy, may come home with somebody. No. You coming alone. You coming home alone, homie, after the party. Okay, you're gonna go to the party. You're gonna look around. You're gonna say, why is she with him? What does he have that I don't have? You're gonna do all those things. You can play those games. You might be leaning against the wall. You might hold up the wall. You might be doing something on the dance floor, whatever. You might buy some people some drinks, but you coming home. Why? Not good enough.
They want it.
Not
they want
good
it
enough.
done?
They aren't good enough. And I want to see the Buccaneers. If I'm anybody in the playoffs, anybody else in the NFC, thank you. I have a road game in Tampa. I appreciate it. They cannot win it. They will not win a playoff game. They will
I'll take
not
that
win
bet.
a playoff game.
Oh, I'll take that
They're
bet. Okay, Mr. My bet's your money. I'll take that bet right now. I'll take
my
that bet
bets.
right now. I'll take that right now.
My
I'll take
bet's
that, I'll take
my
that
money. I'll put my money
I will
on
take
that.
that action. Oh, good. Put some of that United Negro
My
College
money.
Fund money. Oh,
That's right.
I will take. I want in on that action. I want in on
You
that
want
action.
it.
At least
got
one
the
playoff
Bucs?
game.
You got the
At
Bucs
least
winning a
one
playoff game? Dude,
Like who would they play
are
right
not
now?
good.
Today,
I
who would
don't
they play
care.
right now? No, that matters.
It
does matter.
It doesn't
Who do they
matter.
play right now?
Why? Why doesn't it matter? Because
Would it-
they're
would it
the
be Dallas?
worst team.
Would they play
They're
Dallas?
the worst team. Dallas will crush them. They're the worst team in the NFC playoffs. And I don't even know if Detroit's going to make it or not. Detroit's better. Green Bay's better. Everybody. The Giants are better. They are the worst. They are not a good football
this is
team.
great.
And so you talk about Tom Brady and the
they
greatest.
haven't been good. They've been
My
super
problem is
inconsistent. All I'm saying is they don't have to be great. They just got to be better than the other guys for one game. It's a cliche for a reason because it's true. And all I'm saying is if that game is close, and 12 got the ball, I'll call you. I'll call you when it happens. I'll call you in the wild card round in the fourth quarter when it's close and 12 got the ball and everybody across the country glued in front of their television when 12 got the ball.
I will be, and I'll be glued there too. But
I'll call you.
I think the issue. Here's the issue. The issue that you're having. I'm gonna give my Urban Meyer.
Oh, the issue that
folded.
I'm having.
I'm gonna fold my arms here like Urban Meyer. Well, Michael. No, the issue that you're having is that you're putting Tom Brady's resume and lining it up with Tom Brady 2022/23, and they're different.
No, I'm not.
He's got the greatest. He's got the greatest resume in the history of the league.
No.
But you said brilliant. You mentioned brilliant. He's not been brilliant. He's not been brilliant this year. No, he hasn't.
Okay,
He hadn't had moments of brilliance.
He hadn't had moments of brilliance when they got like 3 wins in the final seconds this year? When he had
against
400
the
yards and 3
Panthers,
touchdowns last year?
Panthers, Saints, and who was the other one?
So
again?
now it's just the Panthers. A couple weeks ago, you had the Panthers winning the damn division. Now it's just
That's
the
right.
Panthers. Now
Yeah,
you're qualifying
well,
it. Now you
yeah, well,
you're
look,
holding him.
they were
You're
flawed-
holding him to his
they were flawed
to his
too.
lofty standard. I'm not confusing this Tom Brady with 2007 Tom Brady or peak Tom Brady, whatever the hell that is.
Or even
he was only the MVP
2020,
runner-up last year.
Or even
Okay,
2020
fine.
Tom Brady.
He's had moments
Pandemic
where
Brady.
he's been brilliant. He's had moments where he has been brilliant. He has had stretches where he has been really, really good this year. His team has not been great. He hasn't been his usual brilliant, his usual self. But that doesn't mean he ain't better than most people. But
But
again,
let's not
that's
put
okay.
it on his team. His team. No, his team. You're right. This
They
is where I
can't
agree
run the
with you.
ball. I
And-
didn't realize he was the
Right.
he was the running back too. They can't run the ball. His offensive line has been in shambles. The defense ain't been what it used to be.
Okay. Can we take the gloves?
Gronk
can we take the gloves
retired.
off
That
for a
didn't
second?
help.
Can
I
I
thought
take
we
the
already
gloves
did
off
that because
here?
since you already putting my business in the street, like go ahead. What else you want to say?
I ain't tell everything. I ain't tell everything you did with Matt Patricia that y'all figured out together. I ain't tell all that. Now, if you want me to, I'll just play it. Ain't nothing like that. But I'm going to take the gloves off with Tom Brady. Tom Brady has gotten this is why I said I'm getting tired of people sweating him. They're jocking him. Like, I'm getting tired of it. Tom Brady got
I ain't heard
everything.
jocking in a long. Hold on, we just
I know.
appreciate
Ain't that good?
jocking. I have not heard.
Can we-
I have
can-
not
can we-
said nor heard
I like it.
jocking since maybe
I like
high
it.
school, maybe high
89,
school.
1993,
Maybe high school.
94.
Do
All
kids
right.
do kids even say jocking?
No, they
don't know
don't.
people-
They
I
still
don't
say,
think they say jockey.
They don't say that. They don't say that. They say other stuff that I'm not trying to bring to brother from another. I know what they say, and I don't want to
Yeah.
go that far. But Brady got everything he wanted coming into the 2022 season. Michael, everything that he wanted and stuff that he didn't even ask for. I don't know if he was behind Bruce Arians being reassigned, but Bruce Arians out of the way. He's got a head coach in Todd Bowles who doesn't mess with him, allows him to take a vacation in the middle of the season. He's like a de facto assistant general manager to Jason Light. He gets what he wants. And on top of that, he got a division that is subpar. The most experienced coach in the division is Arthur Smith. Do you realize that? So Brady could probably outcoach all the coaches in the NFC South, and he's better than all the quarterbacks. And all of that, put all that together, and they just back into the playoffs. So don't put it on, he's got this team, it's Brady. He's carrying the team. No, he is the team. He's a part of the problem too. The team is flawed. He's flawed as well. He's got a great resume. He's flawed at this point of his career, and they've got no shot. Let me say it again. They've got no shot. Run it back, Gary. Run it back
Who do
next
you
week
love?
or the week after.
So
no shot
somebody asked me-
of winning a playoff game. No
Okay.
shot.
You know who else has got no shot of winning a playoff game? The Ohio State University. And the other night, when I was watching Ohio State, when I was watching them the other night, I'm making conversation with a friend of mine. Somebody asked me, he said,
"You're so messy and insensitive. You're insensitive."
They said,
"That's who
they
you
said
are."
if the season ended today, like, who do you like in the Super Bowl? I said in the AFC, I would go with my Bengals, who get your Bills tonight in what some are calling the game of the year. In the NFC, the team I like most, and they were a little shaky yesterday, but the quarterback showed me more. Because, again, need I remind you what I said about Brock Purdy from day one, okay? Would be the 49ers in the NFC. That's the team I like the most in the NFC. I say that to say, you're saying the Buccaneers have no shot. The Eagles are this close to blowing their shot at the number one overall seed in the NFC, at home field advantage in the NFC, at the bye that comes with in the NFC. The 49ers, Vikings, and I think the Cowboys are all still in the mix for that number one seed. And that's got obviously to do with Jalen Hurts' injury. But they're stumbling at the wrong time. So clearly you don't like the Bucs. Just focusing on the NFC, who do you like then in the NFC? Who are you feeling right now? Because the Vikings have been outscored this season. They just got the bricks beat off by a Packers team that you also don't take seriously.
I'm telling you, I still like Philly.
Yeah.
I like Philly. Philly. Out of all the day, and you said they're close to blowing it, and I would say they blew it.
If Hurts doesn't get hurt, it's not a conversation.
Even beyond that, like going back to Philadelphia, Dallas, that game, if you just hold on to the ball, they truly just threw the game away. I mean, guys couldn't handle the football. This is not like, oh, the Cowboys made a play. I'm talking about you can't get the handoff exchange together. You can't get the snap together. Just throwing the ball around, dropping the ball. Even with Gardner Minshew on the road against the Cowboys, I think they were better. I think they're better than the Cowboys. I think they were better that day. The Cowboys won the game. Give them credit. But I like the Cowboys. I like the Eagles. Injuries with Hurts, injuries to Lane Johnson, injuries to Sweat. Got it. Like them. They're the best team in the NFC, and I think they're going to prove it. We're going to see them. I'll see you in Arizona. By the time I get to Arizona, Philadelphia will be there.
All right. Let's go ahead and sneak this break in. And maybe I'll apologize during the break for that shot. I said I was gonna be a different person.
That just messed me up, man. No, you can't.
I had all kinds of resolutions.
You're in process.
I was not gonna be with the shits, But I mean, I had that one locked and loaded. Oh, that was such a good game.
Oh, come on. Oh, you too, huh? Oh, you gonna put that up there?
So,
that got nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Why are you putting that up there?
Were you at watch night service watching your team crumble
None of your business.
against the defending national champion?
None of your business. You don't care.
Oh, that
I'm
was
not telling
beautiful.
you anything.
What a happy New Year.
Oh.
It's as good as it can get. I mean, seriously, you get to go to Lambeau, historic Lambeau, where the tops in this division has been Green Bay every year for years, and to go earn your right, to potentially get in. Even if you do get that win, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get in. I know we're guaranteed to get one more week, and so I just think this is as special as it gets. I mean, I just don't think you'd want it any other way.
I know people in Detroit don't want to hear this. The Lions definitely don't want to hear this about, playing with house money and, this season being a victory in and of itself. You know what I mean? Just because, as we just heard Dan Campbell talk about, they're playing meaningful football right now. They've taken a step forward. They've started to learn how to win some of these games that they would typically lose or what have you. A lot of promise. We both love them. The franchise mode in us loves their future with the draft picks they have from the Stafford trade and so on and so forth. But, I mean, for me, it does feel that way. Like for Detroit, and we just finished talking about Green Bay. For Detroit, I would hate to see – I'd like to see Rodgers go out with one last shot in the playoffs. Hopefully it doesn't come up small again. But I love to see Rodgers. Detroit – again, apologies to the Motor City, to the D. I'm okay, as much as I love Detroit's story, if Detroit doesn't make it. But more than anything, for me, I know you want to, we talked about the clinching teams a little bit in the last segment.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, whose Giants clinched yesterday, and Geno Smith, whose Seahawks are still in the hunt. Those two, man, I'm always sentimental. I look to sports. A lot of people look at sports for different reasons. Some people look to sports for a distraction. Some people look to sports for a sense of belonging and community. Some people's very identity is rooted in sports. I look to sports and sports stories for inspiration. And I mean, the quote of the year, as we know, is Geno Smith's, "They wrote me off, but I didn't write back, though." That's still the quote of the year.
Okay. There it is.
But he
and
got
unlike
company.
unlike the Giannis quote, you got that one right.
I got that one right.
I was waiting.
I got that one right.
I was waiting to see if I needed to correct it, but you got it. It's perfect.
But Daniel Jones, I mean, his own organization for all intents and purposes, by not picking up the final year of his rookie deal, wrote him off. Now, reportedly, they're interested in writing him a new check for a new contract. So I would say, I mean, and Seattle's the same as Detroit in many respects. In terms of like, they got a bright future. Nailed this rookie class, got these draft picks from, the trade, since we're bringing up old stuff, the trade that I seem to recall being on a certain show that I appear on once in a while with you and your regular co-host Jim Trotter, and both of y'all trying to tell me that the Seahawks blew the Russell Wilson trade. Yeah, how's that working out for you now? Anyway,
I didn't even comment on that. I didn't even comment on that trade. I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. And you know
I
what?
know what you're talking about.
Since most of our stuff disappears into the ether anyway, we don't have like an archive. We can't pull it up. Then. But I remember.
I'm safe.
I remember the hardcore viewers remember who said that the Seahawks nailed that trade. But I digress. I digress.
Don't you love people who say stuff like this? I remember it differently than you do.
Yeah. Different version of events.
All right, go ahead.
But no, I'm done. I'm looking at these last teams, these great stories.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Giants, whether it's the Seahawks, whether it's the Lions. It's like somebody got to go home. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here.
Can I go?
It will be fun to see Seattle in there, and Geno Smith in particular. But go ahead.
Can I be hyperbolic
Jared Goff's
here for a second?
Be hyperbolic. Yes.
Just for a second. So go back to Detroit. I love what they're doing.
Jared Goff.
I love what they're doing and how they built it from the start. I mean, it's not just, I'm on board this year. Going back to last year, I love what they did, taking Penei Sewell, and he fell to them, and that's who they wanted. So you can make the argument in the last two drafts, I'd say 6 players. They've gotten 3 of the best 6 players available in the last 2 drafts, and they've kind of fallen into. They made one of them happen. Penei Sewell. Okay, Sewell, Hutchinson, and they get really aggressive for Jamison Williams. They come way back into the draft. They go back up to 12.
I thought you were going to say Amon-Ra St. Brown
Houston,
in the 4th round.
And that's another one. And then their kid, and then Houston, the kid defensive end
from Jackson State,
he's not their Aiden Hutchinson, who's been a playmaker, picking up fumbles and interceptions, all that stuff.
Who knew they were drafting a defensive back with the 2nd overall pick? But go ahead.
Yeah, and then Houston leads them in sacks, and he's got like 6 sacks in the last 8 weeks. I mean, they're doing a lot of things. But here's the hyperbole. They've gotten a coach that everybody has bought into in Dan Campbell. He's assembled a tremendous staff. The front office has done a wonderful job. But here's my hyperbole.
I'm just remembering you clowning him after his initial kneecaps press conference. I remember that as well. But okay.
First of all,
he grew on you. You don't remember none of that. You don't remember none of that.
Do you remember me talking to you about Brad Holmes and bragging about Brad Holmes and how he's done a good job there too? You remember? You don't remember that? You don't remember me talking about that? Anyway.
I remember. Brad Holmes is the homie.
Here's a hyperbole. I'm saying who they remind me of. The Lions at this stage of their development. This is going to look. It's the Seahawks. When Pete Carroll first got there, they were going in the right direction. They weren't ready yet. One year they won a division. I think they were 7-9. Russell wasn't there yet, but you can see they were building something. I wasn't sure what it was. They're building something here. It's going to be really good. So they remind me of a young, like pre-Super Bowl Seahawks figuring it out. And they also remind me, this is where I'm going to get in trouble. Jimmy Johnson, when he first got the Cowboys and turned them over.
You said 7-9. So, So 89, they went 1-15. 90, they went 7-9. That's when I started feeling them. 91, they went 11-5. 92,
Yeah,
they
you
won
could
the
see
Super
it.
Bowl. 93, they
You
won
could
the Super Bowl.
feel it. You could feel it. I'm
Well,
telling
but just
you,
the Jared,
Detroit,
the Jared Goff,
come
man.
on, Detroit.
But
it's there.
listen,
it's there.
I could sit up here and say how much I told you so, and you know, I can give you grief and all that kind of stuff. But like, dog, when they took back Jared Goff from the Rams, nobody, and I mean nobody, I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knew whether the stock was going up, down, sideways, or in circles. Least of all us.
See, you remember, you got selective memory. Now you got
I'm
selective
saying
memory.
I didn't see Jared Goff doing this. I'm saying I didn't see it.
Oh, but
You
I was
did?
waiting for you to give me my props.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what?
See,
you know what? You know what? Wait, you're right. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
But see, because the Rams won the Super Bowl with Matt Stafford and were clearly better with Matt Stafford, I didn't think you would pull that take out your ass. But yes, you were a defender of Jared Goff when everybody else was crapping on Jared Goff and saying that the Rams were winning in spite of Jared Goff. You were like, no, he took them to a Super Bowl. He deserved more respect. And yes,
right.
You're right. There was a moment yesterday, Michael, I don't know what he said, and maybe he shared it. I doubt that he did. He shared it. And I just missed it. Geno Smith had a long moment with Zach Wilson. And I ain't saying Zach Wilson is salvageable. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. But what I do know is that, like, there is a club of quarterbacks right now. Geno, and just in the NFC, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, and Jared Goff, who we wrote them off and they ain't right back. And they're all in the playoff mix right now. So I'm inspired.
I like that.
I'm inspired.
And
I get inspired when I see people tell them what they aren't and what they can't do and what they won't be come full circle.
Yeah, and one of those teams, so the Giants are in the playoffs. Good job there, because I was skeptical about the hire of Brian Daboll. Nothing against Daboll, but the Giants have had a streak. The Giants had a streak of some uninspiring, talking about inspired, uninspiring hires, coaching hires.
What's these lessons? What's these lessons?
But the lessons, but think about it. You get the right guy. If you really invest in the right head coach, give him support, allow him to tell you a vision and execute the vision without getting in the way of that work, it's going to pay off for you. And so the Giants were thoughtful enough, give them credit, they were thoughtful enough, they picked the right head coach and general manager combo from Buffalo. They're getting the results of that. Daboll worked with Josh Allen for 4 years, helped develop him. He's clearly helped develop Daniel Jones. Good job there. Detroit, same thing with Dan Campbell. But Jones is going to the playoffs. Campbell and Detroit could go to the playoffs. Geno Smith in Seattle could go to the playoffs. So it's not just, a feel-good story, and you're doing that on a team that has 5 or 6 wins. You can do all these things, have redemptive stories that might, the destination might be actually the postseason. I like it.
And I don't mean I don't want to take credit away from Brian Daboll. I don't, because I mean, you know, he's got quite the resume. He's got quite the he has quite the references on said resume.
Yeah.
And body of work. But honestly, man, I just think it comes down to do you have a quarterback? Because the Giants didn't think they had a quarterback. Now we think they could have a quarterback. The Lions are doing this because they got a. If I said Mike could, the Lions.
You said Mike could. I love it.
The Lions have a quarterback. He might not have come in the package that we thought, but they got a quarterback. He was the number 1 overall pick for a reason, and they got one. It took him a while to get to this point, but they got one. The Seahawks, it ain't the one we thought they would have or should have or would want, but they got one. Of course, those organizations and those coaching staffs and those systems have something to do with bringing out the best in them. But honestly, that's what it comes down to for all these coaches. What their success of is do you have a quarterback, but more importantly, how quickly can you find said quarterback? If you can find them early enough in your tenure where things don't fall apart and you don't get fired.
See, this is why, Mike, I love brother from another. We can get intellectual with you. We can get academic with you if you want.
Oh,
But
you
we
still on
say
Mike
could.
You
We
still
say
on
Mike
Mike
could
huh?
on purpose. On purpose.
And jocking.
Yes.
Yeah, look. So Gino like this. So Gino telling Zach, like, bro, I've been where you been.
Hang in there. Hang in there.
Keep your
You
head
still
up.
got
You got
talent.
a long career ahead of you. You know?
Long career. You got talent, baby.
Patron
you got talent.
Patron
They wrote-
saint. Patron
Or
saint of
maybe he's
reclamation
saying-
projects.
Maybe he's saying it's the Jets. It's them.
Right.
It's not you.
Right. It's not you. But it might be him. Charles, we just finished talking about people being underestimated, written off, specifically quarterbacks. Talking about Geno Smith, talking about Daniel Jones, talking about Jared Goff. That's just the guys in the NFC. I'm sure we can go on and on with other examples of it. I don't know that I have underestimated anybody, at least as far back as I can remember, as much as I underestimated Jared Stidham yesterday going against the San Francisco 49ers. Like, look, I like Jared Stidham at Auburn. I did not think I thought it was going to be a disaster. I thought he was getting fed to the wolves. Now I'm like, Josh, what took you so long? So, again, it's only one game, but he was quite impressive against the best defense in the NFL. Have the Raiders found something? Or are they going to still go big game hunting in the offseason?
No, I don't think. I think it was a nice little revelation, okay? And let's see now. There's still another week of football to be played, so that'll be interesting. But I tend to believe that, and you and I, we've all covered the league long enough that I'm sure the 49ers, had they fully prepared for Jarrett Stidham and sat there and said, okay, let's look at all the Stidham tape and let's find out where are his flaws? What does he do poorly? And remember, you don't have him featuring this roster. You don't have him with Devontae Adams. You don't have him with Darren Waller, playing like Darren Waller, by the way, again.
That boy look like
so
the Mad Bomber, dog.
It's hard to really prepare for him.
looking like
He looks
LaMonica.
great. He looked
He
great.
had nothing to lose, that's for sure. And he did. He played.
That's a good
he balled
ball.
out. Yeah.
Look,
he
that's a
balled
good
out.
ball right there.
But he had a couple mistakes too, and we all know that the test for quarterbacks is given a long enough timeline. Once the league figures out what you do poorly, then you have to compensate. And I listened to you guys just talk about Jared Goff. Sean McVay was like, people figured out what Jared Goff does in my system. I had to change. This is what Sean McVay told me, and I didn't think Jared could change with me. So we had to, part ways. Well, now Jared's in Detroit, and why is he having this success? Because when has Jared Goff been a successful quarterback? When he's got a running game, right? He can play action, and he's got guys then he can throw, you surrounded him with guys.
And he's being protected.
And he's being protected. He's got a great line.
Yes.
Right, he has a line with a ton of first-round picks on it. Yeah. So.
And you know what, Mike? I would say Devontae Adams and Mike and Charles, Devontae Adams, that catch is insane, that one we just showed.
Second round pick Devontae Adams, you mean?
I was going to say, see, you took my line. I was going to say, I'd call him the best receiver in the NFL if he had been drafted in the first round. See, man, you just messed up my whole thing. I was about to make fun of myself. You can't do it. You did it before me. All right, whatever.
Okay,
but Charles.
Go ahead. I do have one other thought about the Raiders situation, but go ahead.
Me too, because I was going to dispute a little bit this nice little revelation of Jarrett Stidham. This goes back to the Patriots, where there was a conflict between Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick. McDaniels has been on Stidham. McDaniels has been on Stidham for a long time. He was putting it out there. He had a little whisper campaign in the media here in New England. He was telling people Stidham is a first-round talent. We're comfortable with him. After Brady left, we're comfortable with him as a starting quarterback. And he was in line to be their starter. The conflict was
Cam.
Right? They bring in Cam.
They
brought in Cam. So Bill, Cam could be awful. You'd ask Bill afterward, hey, you going to make a switch at quarterback? No, Cam's a quarterback. He rode for Cam more than he rode for Brady, more than he rides for Mac Jones at times.
Okay.
I mean, he loved Cam.
Well,
and McDaniels wanted this guy all along.
Okay, but let's pull out one from the archives. Let's dust one off here, okay? And I hate to bring Kevin O'Connell into this, But when the Patriots sent Josh out and they said, hey, you know what? We're going to have you go work out this guy, Kevin O'Connell, because we want to draft another quarterback, right? Put a guy behind Tom. He goes out, checks out Kevin O'Connell, comes back. This is what I was told from inside the organization. Josh is like, this is our guy. Great play, just glowing, stands on the table for him. Patriots draft Kevin O'Connell. I think second, third round. I think it was the second round, maybe the third round. Third round, right.
Yep.
Kevin O'Connell shows up to camp, right? Like 3 days in, literally 3 days in, Bill, basically what I was told the reference was you were not allowed to go evaluate quarterbacks on your own anymore in the draft. And you know what?
Cannot do this
and
unsupervised.
And and you know what? I hate to say this because, I talked to Kevin O'Connell in the preseason and everything, but from what I was told, they kept Kevin O'Connell on the roster for a year because it would be too embarrassing to cut him, and then they cut him a year later. And Josh was no longer allowed to go on his own and evaluate quarterbacks.
What did Marcellus say, Mike? Mike, what Mark said, you lost your QB privileges.
Right.
You lost some privileges.
So wait, you had another thought on the Raiders before we go on a related note. Go ahead.
So here's the bellwether for this, and I think we're going to get a shot at this. There's one person I would listen to right now when it comes to the Raiders, what happened with Derek Carr and where this is going in the future. David Carr, I think it'll be interesting. I think David Carr is going to say something at some point. I think David Carr is going to speak out at some point. He's going to speak to what is going on there, how this all happened with Derek. Well, I mean, okay.
Stidham just made him look. I mean, it's like
no, okay. But what if there's a deeper thing here that overrides Stidham? What if there is a Tom Brady pursuit? What if that's like? What if
you said? But wait a minute. You said David. You said David. Did you mean Derek or David?
No, David.
No, he meant David.
I don't know. No, I don't think. No, I meant his brother.
Okay,
I don't think
okay.
Derek's going to say anything. Derek's going to take the high road. He's going to be the good soldier, as he did, basically when he was asked to step away from the team. But I don't think David doesn't have to do that. David can speak his mind, and I think at some point he might do that. I would just pay attention to what David says about this situation. He might speak a little truth about it.
Well, I mean, the truth is that clearly, I'm guessing Carr did not adapt well to Josh McDaniel's system. Stidham knows it. Stidham showed that the bench was probably long overdue. But you mentioned a name I wanted to get to, and that's Brady. A couple of years ago, and as Michael loves to remind me, Brady didn't have a lot of people falling over themselves to get him when he was leaving New England. Right. I don't think that's going to be the case this offseason, given the amount of teams that's got questions at quarterback. Does it feel like to you that Brady's going to have his pick of jobs, more or less?
I think there are going to be a couple opportunities for him. I think I was told if he goes back to Tampa, there would have to be some coaching staff changes on the offense. That there would have to be an overhaul, basically, of the offense. Look, I'm the messenger.
Him and Leftwich?
This dude.
Is him and Leftwich? Is him and Leftwich?
I'm going to maintain my silence on that one.
You said overhaul on offense. Offense starts with Leftwich. I mean,
all right. I mean, we're going to have to be an overhaul on offense, okay? So that to me would be, does he go back to Tampa? I think there would have to be an overhaul on the offensive coaching staff in Tampa. In terms of external options, do I think there will be some there? Yes, I do. I still, and I wrote this, I think the Raiders do make really good sense. I do. I think even if Stidham, even if Josh loves Stidham and Stidham would be there, I still think it would make a lot of sense. Number one, Dana White let the cat out of the bag, okay, and Rob Gronkowski co-signed it. This was all set up. He was coming. John Gruden blew it up, and Gronk was like, yep, that's exactly what happened. Right now, you're hearing Gronk might come back in 2023. Probably, like he wants to play with Tom. I think the Raiders, given what is there from a skill position standpoint, what is there from a cap standpoint, because remember, once Carr goes off the roster, they have like top 3 cap money, like $60 million plus. Okay,
damn.
You can work on the offensive line. Okay, it is not an untalented team. It is a talented roster, and I think if you're sitting there and saying, hey, we're going to take a 1 or 2 year shot, I don't think it's hard to convince Mark Davis of let's bring Tom Brady in. We like Jarrett Stidham. Right. We're good now. And we have a great bridge who just wants to get a couple more years. Tom Brady now, there's rumors. rumors that Tom's got a 26-year-old girlfriend now. She's wearing his jersey on Instagram.
See, this is what I'm talking about. See, Mike, and I said to Mike earlier, look, I don't have a problem with Brady. Brady's been good to the Hollies. Got it. But this is the stuff that annoys me. So now for Tom to return to Tampa, now we got to restructure the offensive staff for you, Tom.
Yeah.
We did everything else for you, Tom.
Yeah,
we did everything for you. At what point does Tom Brady – see, to me, you guys are going to disagree. At a 46 – going to be 46 next year, a 46-year-old Tom Brady, it's not worth it for me to change everything I'm doing because he doesn't impact winning like that, like he did just 2 years ago. He does not. No, I said it. He does not. He's not going to take me from a good situation.
True.
Okay. And you respond to it.
He doesn't impact winning.
The proof is not like that. Not like that. Not like he used to. Not if you're a good team, you bring in Tom Brady, you're not going to the Super Bowl because you have Tom Brady.
Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence?
2022, baby, right in front of me. The evidence is right in front of me. He got everything. He designed, he retooled that house. He rewired that house. He remodeled it to get everything he wanted. And
but
now
if the power
you gotta,
okay, but
you gotta
foundation.
You gotta scratch the bar just to beat, just to win a division.
I'm not here to defend Tom Brady. But
sounds like it. Go ahead.
You
got it.
But you keep saying they're a bad team. Well, what would they be without Tom Brady, who took them to the divisional round last year in the Super Bowl before that? So you're saying he doesn't impact
last year.
But no, but you're saying that impact.
It's
not worth
Tom
it.
Brady.
So, but if you look at the landscape of quarterbacks, Charles, and I'll hand it back to you. Like, I don't care. I don't give a damn how old Tom Brady is. You stop talking about how old he is. How good he still is. Of course you make concessions for Tom Brady.
He's good. He's not great. He's not great anymore. He's got a great career.
Okay, whatever you want to assign, he's better than what the Raiders have.
You think he's a great quarterback still?
I do,
You
Charles.
think he's great
ahead,
now?
We're being bad. We're being bad. Well, Charles, you ain't really company at this point, but go ahead.
I'm gonna sort it out. I'm gonna agree with both of you though. I'm gonna sort it out.
Okay. All right.
Michael Smith is right. You do make concessions for Tom Brady. That was always the deal. Okay. Jason Light knew that coming in the door. Bruce Arians knew that coming in the door. Probably didn't know it was ultimately going to get him bumped out of the head coaching position, but whatever. Like, he knew that. Everybody knew that's what they signed up for. You make concessions for Tom. Those concessions, and now this is where I will agree with Michael Holley. I think Tom Brady does know his limitations. I think people probably don't give the credit for the subtext that Tom puts out in the moves that he makes. And when I say the moves that he makes, when he got to Tampa, go get Rob Gronkowski. Why? Because Rob is very important to Tom. He knows that's my safety valve. That's my money man. That is my side piece. He rides with me when I'm in trouble. Rob is there. I know we know each other. It's like Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning when they were together. I mean, that was it. They were the duo, right? So he knew that.
Right.
And then he said, go get Antonio Brown. I know you said you don't want him in this locker room. Too bad. You're going to have to go back on that because I need a maniacal guy in practice, okay? I need someone who is going to come out and practice at 110% so that we can teach the rest of these guys what we have to have, what our mentality has to be in practice as dogs. And he's going to carry that out onto game day, and I will try to help manage him every other day of the week. Tom knew what he needed on top of Mike Evans, on top of Chris Godwin, on top of that great offensive line to win a Super Bowl in year one. I think people forget that. I think Tom does know his limitations. He just knows the pieces that he has to have. I think if Antonio Brown, everything hadn't happened, I think Tom would still be trying to get Antonio Brown on the roster now if everything hadn't happened. Okay?
There's one more person I'll ask you about. But Mike, just so and listen, you know how y'all both know how I feel about Brock Purdy, okay? But just going down the list, okay? And tell me if any of these are wrong, Charles. You tell me, okay? And I'm just being realistic in terms of their situations. Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, the entire NFC South, okay? Washington, maybe not New York. Las Vegas, who we just talked about. Indianapolis, Tennessee, New York, the Jets, maybe even the Dolphins given Tua's health. Michael, I won't throw the Patriots in because I don't want your head to explode. Bottom line, all those teams would name the stadium after Tom Brady if it meant getting Tom Brady to come and stabilize their quarterback situation?
I don't
All
think
those
so.
teams.
I don't think so. Hey, look, Tom, not Tom, goodness. I was about to call you Tom, Charles. I know everybody got it wrong in 2000, after the 2019 season. He had 3 teams in pursuit of him. Tampa was the only team willing to, guarantee the real money. I think it was Tampa. Was it the Chargers? Ironically, it was the Chargers.
Yep, Chargers win it.
And there was another one. Was it Chicago? Somebody. Anyway, so it won't be 3 is too low. 12 is too high. Maybe 5. Maybe 4 or 5. Mike, I don't think all those teams are going to say, yeah, bring in Tom Brady. Either for them or for him.
Tom's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
Oh, he's going to stay in Tampa?
I mean,
wait a second. You kind of buried the lead there. He's staying in Tampa?
No, he said he won't just go anywhere, is what you meant. Right?
Anyway.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Tom's not just going to sign up for any team. I mean, there could be the interest. Okay, but this is really weird.
Of course.
Does he want to be?
Okay, I got you. Of course. Okay.
I think he would love to still end up in Miami. I don't know that that's on 2 fronts. Number 1, Tua is there and taking a step, and if he's healthy, I think they continue to embrace him. But number 2, I definitely wonder if the league, given the tampering situation, would maybe send a little backroom nudge that nope, you're not. We're not having that happen.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, they already paid the bill. They already paid the bill for it. You might as well go get him.
Yeah, but they don't let you back in the club. They don't let you back in the club after you busted it up.
Hey, the timestamp here. What's the timestamp on this David Carr tweet? TV isn't enough time to dedicate to. Derek has moved on, but I may have a few things left to get on my chest. I think that's just a few minutes ago, Charles. At 2:18. Okay, 2:18. All right. So there you go. We'll look out for what Derek Carr has to say about his brother, who is a favorite of brother from another. But we both know an upgrade when we see one, and that upgrade's name is Jared Stidham.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.